Welcome to Carolyn's Corner, Into the Unknown. This is a safe place to talk about, share experiences, and ask questions about the unknown or paranormal. We're so glad you joined us. We'll begin shortly, so get ready to interact. Before we begin, please like, comment, and share. If watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Carolyn's Corner, Into the Unknown. I'm going to bring my co-host on here and friend Paul so he can do that justice, okay? So I'm going to bring Paul on right now. Let me turn this down so we don't have interferences. There we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Carolyn, and this is Carolyn's Corner, Into the Unknown. I'm going to go ahead and bring Paul on. Hi, Paul. How are you doing? I'm trying to figure out why I'm hearing myself again. Where am I? Oh, my phone.
Here, I thought you were muted and I was muted because my cat jumped on my laptop.
Yeah, I thought I was muted too. It's never gonna, okay, never mind. Okay, so you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. I hear you okay too. So I have Brett here in the room with me because y'all know I'm a big chicken. So Brett is here. Looks like he's trying to stay awake. So welcome to Carolyn's Corner, Into the Unknown. Paul, do the honors of saying the show name again.
Into the unknown.
So much better than what I can do. Thank you, Paul. So we're really glad y'all joined us tonight. Unfortunately, Jennifer won't be joining us this evening because she's a little under the weather. I don't know why they say that, under the weather. It really makes no sense. She don't feel good, poor baby.
Isn't everybody under the weather?
I know, it's kind of weird, right? Under the weather. I don't know if I need these headphones or not. I'm debating. Can't see my lovely hair with them. I don't know. So into the unknown. I don't know what Brett's doing. He's got his arms wide open, sitting in the chair. I don't know. I think he's praying that we get a lot of people to tune in. So I want to say welcome to everybody who has tuned in so far. I'd like for you to, anybody who's on, to please say hi, just so I can make sure our comments are working properly. So, Paul, I understand that your daughter is going to come on here and join us here shortly. Is that correct?
No, that's not correct. She said she can't do it.
Oh,
She has homework to do with somebody else.
Oh, that's too
Yeah,
bad.
I messaged her and I was like, because she was looking forward to this, and then I just messaged her and she's like, "Oh, I can't do it." I'm like, "Really?"
Oh, that's too bad. Hi, Lupita. Welcome. I'm so glad you joined us, honey.
Right.
So
We
it
have a
looks like
cat
we
join
have
us.
just call tonight, and all of you great viewers. I know there's only a couple on here right now. Lupita, I want to tell you, the cat attacked Paul. Thank you for joining us, Lupita. If you have any stories you'd like to share, you are welcome to come on the screen with us. I can send you a link, or you can just type it in. You can also send it to my Facebook Messenger if you want, and I can read it directly from my phone. However, you would like to do it, just send me a message right here and let me know which way you'd like to do it, if at all, unless you just want to observe. So, we don't have Jennifer here tonight, Paul, so I thought we would just share some of our own personal experiences. What do you think?
Yeah, and then we can kind of go into other stuff, I guess, too, as we go, as it pops up. You know us, we'll just keep talking about anything.
Yes, absolutely. You know what? I'm going to switch this. Hold on just a minute. I'm going to switch this because I
Please.
know it's working, but it's not working as good as I want it to. Let me just switch this sound. Okay, say something else for me, Paul.
There you go.
Okay, now I've got it. Thank you so much. I could hear you, but it was actually coming out the other headphones. So, Lupita and anyone else that is here with us, feel free to share your stories with us. Anything unexplainable, whether it be ghosts, UFOs, Bigfoot, anything, really anything. Okay. Who was it that I said you need to come on the show?
And then Crystal's going to be here in a little bit. She has a nice little story that just happened to us a few days ago to tell.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, I'm excited. You know, I don't even want to wait, but we got to wait. I'm trying to be good about it. Trying to wait. So Brett said, where is she at?
She's in the kitchen. I think she has orders to do for cookies. So
okay.
She'll be up on.
For those of you who don't know, Crystal runs and owns Crystal Ice Bakery. So welcome to everyone who's here. Thanks so much for joining us. I was just saying right before y'all got here, I'm not sure who was here already except for Lupita. Thank you for joining me. I'd love for you to say hi just so I know who's joining us tonight. Tonight is going to be another night where we share stories of anything unexplainable that's happened to us. Paul just told me that they had something happen a few days ago that his wife Crystal is going to share in a little while when she comes on. So I'm super excited, especially something new, something like current. That should be really good. We've had a lot of quietness here in the house. Nothing has happened here, so of course I'm actually glad about that. Since the ghost box incident where we caught all the spirits on the ghost box, it's been very quiet. Now I don't come in this room hardly, which is my mom's old room. I don't come in here very much by myself. I was just thinking about using my system since I've got it all set up to try to record some of my songs again, but then I'm like, am I brave enough to come in here by myself?
Do it again. Never know. Someone in the background adding that extra singer to you.
Yes, exactly. So for those that weren't here a while ago, Paul, tell them the name of the show again. I love the way you did it.
Heading to the unknown.
See, what happened is this. I did not know that was a song from a Disney movie because I have a grandson and we haven't seen those Disney movies. So it's kind of funny. We kind of stole a name without even knowing we stole a name. So, Paul, do you have any interesting stories that you would like to share right off the bat? One that we haven't shared already, right off the bat. I don't know why they say that either. Why do they say under the weather and
right off
the bat? Does anyone know?
Right off the bat. Let's see. Right off the bat, what can I come up with? Oh my goodness.
Well, we can wait a minute. Think about it. Do any of our viewers have any stories they'd like to share? I've told a lot of mine, not all of them. Remember, if you have a story you want to share, you can post it here in the comments. You can message me privately on my messenger on Facebook if you'd like. If you want to come on the show, as long as you have a shirt on, we're trying to keep it rated PG. Then you can come on the show if you want. Just send me a message and say, I'd like to join you on the show. Paul disappeared. What happened to Paul? Did the ghost get him? So last week, Jennifer went over to Paul and Crystal's house and did friends on Paul and on Crystal. How are you feeling after that, by the way?
I'm feeling pretty good. It was I got a haircut, so,
I see that. You look very sharp.
I feel better about this.
Everybody got to dress up, but we went to the Marine Corps ball, and so we all really dressed up and had a great time. It was nice, wasn't it, Paul?
Oh yeah, it was pretty cool. It was an interesting event.
Yes, we really enjoyed it.
I danced too much, hurt myself. So
you did what?
I said I danced too much and hurt myself.
Yes, they were dancing a lot. I didn't dance that much because of my feet. I made this big screen. Boy, we're huge now. We're huge. So yeah, we had a lot of fun, and that's why Paul got him a haircut. Looks all sharp. Yes. Everybody got their haircut. Um, Brett is doing something he shouldn't be doing. Just wait till you see what he's doing. He is so silly. I'm going to see in just a minute. He's going to come behind me, I bet you. So I got to act scared. Oh my gosh.
Does he have a
So,
sheet over?
okay, so let's let him come behind me. So hold on. Come over here, Brett. Get in the scene. Oh my God, it
Oh,
does look scary. Whoa.
now turn the lights off and have that.
Yeah, turn the light off, Brett. I don't know if I'm that brave. Oh,
Oh,
that looks scary. We were just watching about horror movies. They were when they were watching making the movie Halloween and Friday the 13th. We were watching documentaries about it. I think that's where he got the idea. Whoa, that does look scary.
yeah. It's funny is I started reading a book, or listening to a book. I guess I do Audible, so on my long drives, and
Right?
this book actually was really interesting. And anybody who's interested in like the different types of demons and different types of creatures that are actually out there, that's in lore.
Yeah.
It's called A Field Guide to Demons, Vampires, Fallen Angels, and Other Subversive. If I can bring the full title up.
God, that's scary, Brett. Here,
Huh?
just getting out of here real quick.
It's like, oh, subversive spirits.
That's cool. Oh,
So yeah, it's a neat little documentary book on all the different like they talk about demons. It was funny because they're talking about fairies, and there's a lot of fairies in there as well. And they
really?
talk, yes, and they're saying basically what I got from this is from the very beginning they're talking about demons, and demons aren't what everyone makes them out to be.
Okay.
Um, there's a I guess there's a I don't know this book I says it went into a lot of detail about it, and it was saying that demons are nothing dealing with the devil and nothing dealing with Satan, Lucifer, and all that. Demons are actually deities of the old world. Whenever Christianity took over, they basically pushed all of those like Venetian, what's his name, and that like all the Hindi gods and all of the Native American gods,
Yeah.
Greek, those became demons
Wow.
in the view of people. So like fairies, any type of lore like that, they're all considered demons, and that's
Really?
where and that's where the demons come from. And yeah, this book actually goes into what they mean, what they are, how to, if you happen to come across one, how to to avoid becoming trapped by. Yeah, it goes into a lot of details.
So it literally tells you what to do when you come across one. Hi, Sarah. Welcome. So what is it? Do you remember what it says? Like what to do to keep from being
Well,
trapped from them, by them? That's weird.
yeah, I mean, it goes into a lot of well, it depends on which one it is. Some of them you can wave a silver dagger over your head and it makes them go away. You throw if you throw a silver dagger over it, because a lot of them are allergic. They're they don't like metals, any type of metals, iron, silver, and stuff like that. And this
Wow.
deals with fairies and any other type of ghosts. They go all over the world. They talk about South America, Japan, Africa, North America. They talk about the Tommy knockers. Have you ever heard of Tommy knockers?
I have heard of those. Have you heard of them, Brett?
Okay,
Yeah, Brett
Tommy
said.
knockers. Tommy knockers is a book by Stephen King as well,
Yeah.
and the book has nothing to do. Well, the movie really has nothing to do with any of this. Tommy knockers are like a ghost of a fallen miner that became a Tommy knocker, which has a lantern on it.
Wow.
It's like a little tiny guy, and he can be malevolent or benevolent. It doesn't. They're very. They go out and they some of them try to help people. They start knocking on the walls inside the mine to let you know
Oh
either some danger.
gosh.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they went into a lot of
Brett,
detail in that.
stop it. Brett's knocking on the wall.
Yeah, but that's why they call them Tommy knockers.
Wow, that's interesting. So they were miners, right?
Yeah, they're spirits of miners who died in the mine.
Wow,
And
really? I
not
didn't know
not
that.
all and not all miners die.
Yeah.
Not all the miners who die become a Tommy knocker, but there are some that can actually become a Tommy knocker. It's
Wow,
a
that's
yeah.
interesting. And what is this book called that you're listening to?
It's called a field guide to diamonds. I can't even talk. A
All right.
field guide to demons, vampires, fallen angels, and other subversive spirits.
Oh my gosh, Paul's been doing his research, y'all. Well, for those of you who don't know, Paul is also an author, and he writes. I said it right. He writes fictional novels. His series, his first series is about little fairies, and it's a
Right.
great series. We're going to be helping. Thank goodness I get to help on it. He's
Yeah.
going to be doing an audio book of it, and I'm really looking forward to that. And
Yeah.
it is these are really, really great stories. Tell them where they can pick that up and what the name of them are again.
Amazon.com/author/PRG books. And I have all my short stories and all the novels that I've done there.
That's so cool. That is so cool. Yeah, so we're looking forward to doing that, and of course, we'll let y'all know when that comes out. So I've shared a lot of stories on here of personal things that have happened to me during my lifetime, and I know there's a lot more left to share. A lot more. Did we talk about? Oh my gosh, there's so many. I told the story of whoever it was trying to get in the house last time, right? It was jingling the door.
Right.
We never did figure out what that was, and it went on all night long until daylight. And we used to talk about this all the time. My mom, my sister, and all of us. Every time we would get together, we talk about all the weird things that had happened to us. But all the things that happened in the house when I was a baby or not even born yet. My mom said before when they first moved into the house that she had this. She kept getting the feeling that she should go up in the attic, and she went up in the attic and found a whole bunch of letters, and they were from Liliana. And Liliana, she believed it was the same Liliana that passed away when she was 15, who was her stepsister. And and she said after she went up in the attic is when all the things started happening, which I guess would make sense, right? Maybe she opened the door to all the weird things. I wasn't alive. I don't think I was even born yet. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't see Liliana on here tonight. I sent her a link, but I haven't heard from her. Um, she said she interrupts. She said they've had issues with their internet every time she comes on there, Paul. Just
Oh,
letting you
yeah.
know. Yeah, she said they keep having issues. Everybody's having issues when she comes on. So maybe it is a lot to do with her energy. Who knows? Who knows?
Yes.
Yeah. Um, but I didn't tell the stories about my encounters with the ladies. And I've told Paul and Crystal these stories, and these were, well, for the most part, rather recent occurrences within the last 15, 20 years. To me, that's pretty recent, I guess. I don't know. When you get older, everything is a long time ago, it feels like. Did I tell you any of those stories about my encounters with the old ladies?
No.
No, I
No.
did not. Okay, so all of these encounters really affected me because to this day, I can't explain them. I've had people give me different theories as to what they must mean, but the most significant one and the first one, and these are all true. I would not make it up. Um, this was when I was already with my husband Brett. We weren't married at the time, but I wanted to go to karaoke, and he didn't want to go. He wanted to stay home. So I said, "Hi, Donovan, welcome." I was just going to tell a story about something that happened to me. I'm going to tell one of them that happened to me when I lived in Corpus. Hi, Billy. Welcome. So we're telling scary stories. I'm glad you're here. So this is a story that happened. I want to make sure everybody hears it. It's pretty crazy. So there was a place in Corpus that we used to always go to for karaoke called the Safari Club. It's long since been closed down, and it's something else now, right, Brett? It's not even the same place. It's a barbecue place now over off of Weber in Corpus. Um, but one night I wanted to go to karaoke, and I can't remember what night it was. They had karaoke like 2 nights a week, I think, wasn't it, Brett? I'm asking Brett because I have such a bad memory. Brett didn't want to go. Hi, Cammy. Welcome. Just in time to hear this story about what happened to me. So Brett didn't want to go, so I went by myself because I knew everyone there, and he trusted me. So I wanted to go, or was this even a karaoke night? I went there early, and the bartender knew me because that's where we always went. And I ordered a beer, which back then, the bartender, of course, knew what I drank because we were there. That's where we were at every single week. So I ordered me a beer, and then I had to go to the ladies' room So I literally took one sip out of the beer and I went to the ladies' room. Well, I took care of my personal business, and the restroom in there had two stalls, very small bathroom, real small bathroom. I mean, very small. There was one little sink and two stalls right next to each other. So I take care of my business and I'm coming out of the stall and I go to open the door. Oh, hi Paul, you got to put it on the other messenger. I don't know if they can see that, but I'll do that in just a minute. Can you put it on the are you excuse me, I'm sorry. Are you able to type on the other messenger, Paul?
I don't think so. I wasn't
You,
trying to interrupt your story. I'm sorry.
no, it's okay. You got me thinking now. I'm wondering if you could. I didn't know. I'll put it on there. Good idea. Anyway, so I come out of the bathroom and the little door, and it's almost like a swinging door. You know what I mean? They're restrooms, and this is an old place, so the restroom was very raggedy anyway. So the door hit somebody, and I said, "Oh, excuse me, I'm so sorry." And I opened the door all the way, and I see a little old lady standing at the sink. Old, and when I say old, I mean old. And I said, "I'm so sorry. Are you okay?" And she had a very thick accent. She had dark hair, very, very short, and she had a really thick accent. And she said, "I'm okay." And I was like, because I'd never seen her before. And I said, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And I said, and she said, "It's okay." And I'm washing my hands. And she said, "Can you help me?" And I was like, "That's weird." And I said, "Of course, what do you need help with?" And she had a little tiny black purse. And out of her little tiny black purse, she pulled a little black comb like the guys use. You know what I'm talking about? The men's combs. And she handed me the comb. And I was like, I'll never forget this. It affected me. It really did. And I was thinking to myself, she wants me to comb her hair. It was a very strange story. So I said, "You want me to comb your hair?" And she said, "Yes, please." And she said, "Yes, please, my child," is what she said. And I was like, okay, this is very odd. So I don't know what else to do because I'm thinking, I mean, I've never been asked that. So I start combing this old lady's hair in the restroom. And I'm combing it very gently, and her hair is pretty thin. And I get to one spot, and she stops my hand and pushes my hand on top of her head like this. And I feel like a gap in her skull, honestly. So I jerked my hand back, and I said, "Oh my gosh, what happened?" And she said, it was the weirdest thing. She said, "When they tell you to dig, you dig. You don't ask questions. I didn't know they were still alive." And I was like, "What?" And I looked at her so weird because I was freaked out. I'm like, "What is she talking about? I'm hallucinating." I really thought I'm hallucinating. That's it. I've been through so much stress. I've just lost my mind. And I said, "Well, what are you talking about?" And she gets her little black purse and she pulls out a newspaper clipping, which was all folded a bunch of different ways, and it was all raggedy. And she handed it to me and she said, "Here, my child, read this." So I'm reading this newspaper article, and it was I can't remember where the paper was from. It was just a clipping, so I couldn't tell where the paper was from, but it was an actual newspaper clipping. And it was a story about her, about how she was the sole survivor of her whole family of a Nazi concentration camp. And I immediately just started crying because I was freaked out and I thought, what is happening here? I had tears in my eyes and I said, "Oh my God, what did they do to you?" And as weird as it sounds, she said, "Child, they didn't do it. People don't do that to people." And I go, "Well, of course somebody did something," because you could feel a gap like in her skull. And she said, "Again, when they tell you to dig, you dig. You don't ask questions, especially when they have a gun pointed at you." And I was like, "What is she talking about?" And she said again, "I didn't know they were still alive." And so she says, "Well, I have to go." And I'm like, "No, no, no, no. We're in this tiny bathroom together." I said, "Please don't go." Because by this point, I'm like, okay, I'm either hallucinating, something weird is going on. I've got to let somebody else see her to make sure I'm not losing my ever loving mind. Because now I had been through a lot of stress because, just life in general. I had gotten a divorce. I was trying to make it on my own. I had just met Brett recently. It was just a lot of different things. And I thought, okay, I've snapped. I've officially snapped. I'm seeing old women in the bathroom. And and I looked at her again before we walked out. I said, "Please don't go." I said, "What are you doing here?" And she held my chin in her hand, and she was little, tiny, short thing. And she said, "Don't you know, child?" And I was like, "No." And she said, "God sent me here for you." I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "God sent me here for you." And by this point, I'm like, okay, I've officially, to this day, I really don't know. I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. So I convince her, I'm like, please stay, please don't leave, because I'm like, somebody's got to see her, because I'm not, am I hallucinating this woman in the bathroom? So we go out, and the ladies' restroom is right at the end of the bar, almost where the door is. You know, there's a little gap, and then the bath, and then the bar. So I say, please don't leave. Can I buy you a drink? And she said, well, I don't really drink, but I've heard that red wine is good for the soul. She said, I'll have a glass of red wine. So I ordered myself. I still had my beer that was sitting there. The bartender knew me because I was there all the time. I said, can I please get a glass of red wine? He said, sure. So he gives me a glass of red wine, and she's sitting there drinking her wine, and she starts telling me stories. She shows me a tattoo on the back of her hand that had numbers on it. And she just kept repeating. I said, well, why are you here? And she kept saying, God sent me here for you. And I'm freaked out, like freaked out beyond compare. And all of a sudden the door opens to the bar, and there are three big biker dudes. And when I say big, I mean big, like big leather jacket, just really mean looking dudes that walk in the door. Well, two of them go to the other way towards the pool table, which is on the other side. And one of them comes straight for me and this lady, because there was nobody else in the bar at that time because it was early. He comes straight up to this lady, and he said, I don't know who you are, but as soon as I walked in, something told me I had to come see you. And she looked at him straight in the eye and did the same thing to him and said, of course it did. Child, don't you know God sent me here for you? And he's looking at me really weird, and I'm looking at him really weird, thinking, okay, now somebody else is seeing her. We're not hallucinating. And he goes and he starts hugging her. He's hugging her. And while he's hugging her, he mouths the words, do you know her? He doesn't say it, but he's like, and I said, no. And she pulls him back, and she said, this is my daughter, Carolyn. I swear. And he's like, well, what are you doing here? And she said it again to him. Don't you know, child, God sent me here for you. And this big, huge biker man, and I promise y'all, I'm not making this up, had tears rolling down his face. And we didn't want her to leave. She didn't really say much. She told him where she was from, that she was a soul survivor, and she showed him the newspaper article like she did me. And we're both like freaked out. So she said, well, I've got to go. And I was like, no, please don't go. Because we were telling her you should have somebody should do your story. Maybe we could write a book about your experiences. Because she was telling how her mom, she lost her mom, she lost her sisters, um, her whole family, her father. She was the only one that survived. So I was trying to get information from her. And the only thing she would really tell me is her daughter's name. And of course, it was on the newspaper article, but it was already back in her purse. And when you hear something like that, you don't think to write anything down. It's not like I was, and I did have a little scratch pad in my purse. So I wrote down her daughter's name, and the last name was Knapp, Knapp, but that's all I ever got out of it. So she said, I've got to go. And I'm still like begging her, please don't go. So anyway, I said, let me where are you driving? And she goes, no, I'm going to walk. And I was like, no, you're not going to walk. Now, keep in mind, this lady was in her late 80s, at the very least, honestly. So I said, please let me give you a ride. So she says, okay, well, you can drop me off. So I take her. There was like apartments close by there. So it was just like a block or two away. So I take her and drop her off. She wouldn't let me walk her to the door. And she walked away, and I drove away, and I went home and woke up Brett and told him, you're not going to believe what happened to me. Well, I told Brett, we got to go back in there. I've got to find out more about this woman, because I have never experienced anything like this. And so we go back in there a couple of days later, and the same bartender is there. And I go up to him, and I'm like, hey, I was here the other night. Do you remember? He goes, yeah, I remember you being here. And he said, I thought it was weird that you ordered red wine. And I go, well, I ordered the red wine for the lady that was with me, that older lady. Has she been back in here? And he looked at me real funny, and he said, what older lady? And I said, the one that was sitting by me at the bar, the one I was talking to. And he goes, Carolyn, there was nobody there with you except for the biker dude. And I thought he was just trying to hit on you. And I said, yes, there was. And he swore there was nobody there with me. And to this day, it has stuck with me. I don't know who the biker dude was. I never saw him again. I don't know if it was my guardian angel. I don't know what it was. Jennifer said she believes that it was maybe me in a past life. I don't know. So any thoughts on that? I would love to hear your input on that, guys, because I promise you, I saw it. Whoever this guy was saw her. To this day, I don't know, and it affected me. It affected me a lot, but it made me really count my blessings because I thought maybe she was sent. If she was a guardian angel, she was maybe sent to me to tell me, hey, I went through this. What you're going through is nothing. You're going to be okay. God sent me here to tell you that. Whether or not that's the truth, that's the way I felt about it. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, Paul? Do you have any thoughts?
Well, first off, did you get her? I mean, you said you got her daughter's name, right?
Yes, and I tried to look it up. Of course, this was 20 years ago. Even back then, it was harder to look up somebody. You know what I mean? It wasn't like Google. Of course, I looked as much as I could. I looked it up as much as I could, but I could not find like any information on her. And I did try because I mean, that's been so long ago.
Okay,
But
so basically, no one else saw her.
no, the only one that saw her was the biker dude. Hey, Liliana, the biker dude, and I have no idea what his name was. And in the heat of the moment, or in the moment, neither one of us, because we were so freaked out, we didn't think. I guess we didn't think about. We miss you too, Liliana. Do you want to come on? Liliana said, "Hi guys, she just got out of work. She's sorry. It's okay."
Come on
I
with
just
your
told
pass
my
out.
story. I just told my story about my encounter with a little old lady, and it's a very interesting story. And all these years later, I still don't know what to make out of it. But she kept repeating that same saying, "God sent me here for you, child. Don't
Well,
you know God sent me here for you?"
what
So,
really gets me is the other saying that she said
which one? Oh, that people
when
don't do
they
that to people?
no, whenever they tell you to dig, you dig.
Yes. Yes.
That's just a very strange saying to
Yes.
say.
And she
I'm
said, I didn't know they were still alive. And then of course in my brain, I thought, remember the pits that they said that they would throw the bodies in? And
right.
and that's what I thought of. And I was like, it was just something that no one would normally say. Um, so I don't know. I don't know. I know I touched this woman, I talked to this woman, I saw the newspaper article, why she was there and why she said the things she said, and why nobody else could see her except for me and that biker dude are beyond comprehension. So I don't know to this day. Anybody got any thoughts on that, Paul? What else do you have to comment on that?
I don't
Because
know.
I wish I could find her again, but I doubt by now she wouldn't be alive. I'm sure because she'd be well into
Well,
her hundreds.
apparently she was never alive at that time.
Yeah, I
If
guess
no one
so.
else saw her, because I mean, if you're sitting at the bar and she was
Yeah,
drinking too,
she drank the wine. She didn't finish the whole glass. Okay, I'm gonna bring Liliana on too. Okay, here she comes. Hi,
Hi
Liliana.
guys.
That's all
uh,
I'm
right.
not in my normal setting. I am so exhausted.
Oh, I'm sorry, baby. Well, I was just telling a really interesting story about a
I
run-in.
heard like the ending of it.
Yeah, and I don't tell a lot of people. I shared it with my son, and he's like, "Mom, you need to share that with people because it really did happen." And to this day, I don't know. I believe really that she was an angel or something. I do, but I don't know because how is it possible for the bartender who I knew for years, by the way, Paul? I knew this guy forever. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Uh, how could he not see her when she was standing right there and I was talking to her, and so was this other guy?
Well,
And
if
it
she
makes
was drinking, how did she get the drink?
I don't know. I mean, I bought her a glass of red wine. Now I can't remember if she actually drank it, but I did buy her a glass of red wine. You know, it was because they had the little bottles, and he poured it in the cup, and I never drank that ever. So I don't know. I really don't know.
Hi,
It's
Liliana.
very.
What's going on over there? You got an elephant in the room?
I'm not saying anything.
Oh, we know where she is.
Oh, stop.
Might as well bring
No,
him on camera. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Hi. We're telling
Hi.
scary stories.
I'm ready.
It
I'm
was
ready.
If you have any scary stories, come on. If you want him, if y'all want him to, y'all want to. We'd love to have you join us. Yeah. So yeah, I gave her the. I mean, he gave her the wine. I don't remember. I wasn't paying attention to whether she actually drank any or not. But she said, but a little red. She said, I don't drink, but a little red wine is good for the soul, is what she said.
Oh, that's just odd. It's just
It's
a
very
really,
odd.
really strange encounter.
Yes. And after that, I had 2 more encounters with little old ladies. So I'm always on the lookout for little ladies in distress because honestly, I've had 3 instances altogether.
It's funny. I almost had an encounter like that myself a long time
Hi,
ago.
Crystal. Or who's that? Crystal? I can't see. No, okay,
It's
that is. Yeah, I got the screen so little. There you are,
Hi,
baby.
Crystal.
Hello.
Hello.
Just had an encounter like that. What did you have?
Oh, we're missing Brett.
I know Brett's here. He's just over on the other side of the room.
Yeah. I was in the military time. I was in Killeen, and I was in the HEB. I was in an old HEB, and this guy walks up out of nowhere, and he says, "Oh man," he says something like, "God loves you, right?" And I'm like, "Who is this guy?" I mean, just randomly just walks up to me and tells me this.
Really?
And I'm like, "Okay," and he's like, I just wanted to let you know that. And then he walks away, and I didn't see him anymore in the store. It was so strange. It was a strange encounter.
Wow. Well, I don't know. I mean, I've always thought in my heart that it was just God sending me a little sign to let me know that I'm not alone. Yeah, because I was going through a lot of uncertainty. I wasn't sure if I was going to, honestly, if I was going to stay with Brett, because I didn't think he was ever going to marry me. It was a lot of things, unquestioned, things that I was questioning at the time because I had been with my ex-boyfriend for so long and he took forever to ask me to marry him. And I thought, I'm not going to wait forever. What are y'all doing?
Well, it looks like they're eating dinner. I didn't get an invite.
Serious conversation, and we're just like throwing everything off.
They're fighting for screen time. That's what they're doing.
Children. Stop it. So he just walked away and he just disappeared. That's really weird. Well, see, and I had 2 more instances with old ladies. Brett was with me both of the other times, which is really weird because when that first one happened, I drove straight home. And keep in mind, I only had that 1 drink of the beer. I was completely sober because I was like, Brett, you are not going to believe this. And I said, we have got to go back. I was freaking out. I'm like, I just kept saying, I don't understand what that could be. Why did she keep saying God sent me here for you? He's my witness, right, Brett? Brett is my witness. I just kept saying, why does she keep saying that? And I said, she must have been my guardian angel. That's the only thing that made any sense. I'm like, maybe God sent her to tell me, this is bad. What you're going through is nothing. Just hold on. And of course, now looking back, I made it through fine and everything turned out fine. And, but it's just weird. It was just a weird experience. So I don't know.
Did anybody tell you not to dig?
Do what?
Did anybody tell you had to dig?
No.
Well, you better dig.
I know, but it's too late now. It was so many years ago.
What does that mean, Dick?
What does that mean, dig?
That was funny though.
That's
But yeah, it was really weird. And then Brett and I went to that barbecue place. Oh, in Corpus. I used to go there a lot. Now I can't remember the name of it. Brett, what's the name of it? Anyway,
Will Miller's.
No, it's an old one over there off of, it's downtown off of Shoreline, off of Buford Street. God, what's the name of it? It's been there forever. I want to say Lou's, but it's not Lou's. It's a barbecue place, but it also is a bar at night. It's a bar barbecue. We used to go there a lot for lunch when I worked at Gulf Coast Testing, because it was real close. Anyway, of course, I can't remember the name. Same friggin' thing happened. I go to the bathroom. Brett and I are in there having a couple of drinks. Just went there after work. She was making tea or something. Yeah, and I walk in the bathroom. I come out of the bathroom same way, and the door hits a little old lady. But this little old lady is on the floor for real with a cup of hot water. And I hit her with the door, and she had a cup of hot water of all things. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? And she said, I'm okay, child. Do you have a tea bag? I was like, what in the hell? For
What is-
real. I'm not kidding. So I'm like, okay, I've lost it. So I go to Brett. I said, what do you need? And I go, I don't think they have tea bags here. She was sitting on the floor like you would see a beggar. It was very, very strange. And so I reached in my pocket. All I had was 21 cents. I remember how much it was exactly because Brett was paying for everything. I didn't have my purse or anything. I left it out there. So I reach in my pocket. I take all the 21 cents I have and give it to her. I gave it to her. And then I walk back out. Now, there is only one way in the bathroom, only one way out of the bathroom. For real. There's only one door. Where we were sitting, we could clearly see the door. And I come back with a weird look on my face, and Brett goes, what's the matter? And I go, you're not going to believe this one. There was a little old lady in the floor asking for a tea bag. And Brett's like, what? And I go, yes, I'm not making it up. And we sat there, didn't we, Brett? We sat there and never took our eyes off the door, and she never came out of the bathroom. In fact, I finally got up and I said, she's got to still be in there. I got to make sure she's okay. So I go back in there, nobody in there. Nobody in there. Brett is my witness. He's like, I don't know what you saw. I said, I know what I saw. I saw a little lady on the floor with a cup of water.
Asking for a tea bag.
That is weird. It's really weird. And then I had one more encounter when we were coming back and forth when we were getting the house ready to move in here in Beeville. We were driving back and forth from Schulenburg to here. And we stopped at a gas station or one of those, the big gas station. I don't know which one it was or where it was, but it had the restrooms outside. Well, the doors were outside, men and women's. So I had to go to the bathroom. It's always me going to the bathroom, which is really weird. So I go in there and there's a lady.
And I was waiting outside.
Yeah, Brett's right in front of the door in the truck because he didn't have to go, and I did. And this lady is frantic, and she's speaking Spanish, and I don't speak Spanish, and she needs help bad. And she's like, and I don't have any idea what she's saying. And I'm like, wait, I'm trying to say, wait, let me go get my husband. And I couldn't remember how to say husband. I just said, I was like, esposo. I didn't know how to say it. So I go out. I'm like, Brett, there's a lady in here that needs some because she's like frantic. And he goes, I am not going to go in the ladies' room. And I'm like, Brett, I'm telling you, something is wrong. She needs help because she looked terrified. And same thing. Nobody ever came out of the bathroom. And I went back in. There was nobody in the bathroom. But there's only one way in, one way out. So that was 3 encounters. So now every time I see a little old woman, and it's weird, it's like in the bathroom every single time. And I don't know what it means. It means I'm losing my mind. I don't know.
Little old lady in the bathroom asking for a tea bag.
Yeah.
Little old lady telling you, if they tell you to dig, you dig.
Yeah. And telling me, God sent me here for you. Don't you know, child? Oh, she said that a lot.
That's just odd.
Yeah. It's very odd. And I can't make sense of it. I know what I saw all 3 times. And 2 of them, Brett was there. The first one, he wasn't with me, but I told him about it. You know what I mean? But he never saw any of them. So I'm like, okay, either I'm hallucinating and maybe they're, maybe they're, I thought about this too, since we talked about the veil and all that. Honestly, maybe they're spirits who I was able to see at that time for some reason, for whatever reason. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, it makes sense. Could be a little lady in another dimension that you just sort of just kind of went into.
Yeah.
There are stories about that where people will see other people and they just vanish out of nowhere. And they're like, that was a ghost. And other scientists are like, well, no, because if they happen to blip, it's called blipping in and out. It's like you blip into one place and you blip out. It's going interdimensional travel.
Yeah.
There's like a doorway.
The glitch in the
Yeah.
Donovan said dig for gold, LOL. Yeah. I wish it was dig for gold.
I mean, if you didn't dig, then you wouldn't know.
No, I mean, all 3 of them freaked me out so bad, but I told Brett, now he knows to listen to me when you know what I mean? He believes me because he knows I'm not making it up. I know what I saw, because all 3 of these, the door actually hit them. So they were physically there, which is really weird that they have that all 3 of them had that one thing in common. They were all 3 in a ladies' restroom and they were all 3 bumped by the door when I was coming out. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Maybe that's how you go through portals, through bathrooms, public restrooms.
Maybe so.
Toilet, and then you go, and then.
Maybe what?
I said flush the toilet, and then you go, and then you.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really weird. It really is weird, and it's affected me. Well, all of them affected me, but that first one really affected me.
Okay, the one where you a lady told you to dig. Sorry, I missed
No,
that.
she didn't tell me to dig. She said when because I asked what happened to your head. Basically, I said, what did they do to you? Because she had a big gap in her head, you could feel it. And I said, what did they do to you? Oh, and another thing she said, child, this is what she said, child, people don't do that to people. And I go, well, of course they did it. I found all kinds of stuff digging here. See, Donovan. She said, people don't do that to people. And I go, well, what do you mean? Of course they do. And she said, no, that's not people that do that. And in my brain at that moment, I just thought she meant, well, that was like the devil because people wouldn't hurt people like that, you know?
Wow.
That's what I assumed, but I didn't say that. I just was so freaked out by her even saying anything. And she was saying, because I said, when I was basically asking her what happened, so she wasn't telling me to dig. It was basically when I said, what did they do to you? And she said, when they tell you to dig, you dig. You don't ask questions, especially when they have a gun pointed at you, you know? And so then I kind of visualized it. I was like, and she said, I didn't know they were still alive. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
So to me, it was like they had a gun to her telling her, dig and cover this up, you know, even though there's people in there that are still alive. She didn't know it, you know?
Yeah.
So later I thought about it like the mass graves, you know? So I don't know. What do y'all think? What do you think, Donovan? What do you think, Liliana? What do you think, Matt? Anybody?
weird.
I mean, yeah.
I never saw anybody. I was at Republic, and I was there with some friends, and I was drinking, and I was pretty drunk. And I'm just gonna go off the fact that maybe I was just intoxicated.
Right.
But when I was in the bathroom, I was in one of the stalls, and I heard someone walk in. And I heard the faucet go off, and she was just, I guess she was just fixing her makeup or her hair or whatever. And I said something like, oh, like, I don't feel good. And she's like, it's okay, girl, you're going to be fine. She's like, you're going to be fine. She was just giving me, like, words of encouragement. And she's like, everything happens for a reason. Like, you're good. She's like, I was watching you, like, you know, walk around the party. You're, like, beautiful. Like, complimenting me, all this other stuff. And I'm like, oh, thanks. Well, as I was finishing up, I got out of the stall. And you could hear when the door, like, opens and closes.
Yeah.
It never opened. It never closed back. After, like, me and her were having a full-blown conversation while I was literally sitting on the toilet. I walked out. There was no one else in there with me.
Wow.
And I was like, I never saw anybody. I heard someone walk in. I didn't hear anybody walk out, but I had a full-blown conversation. Maybe I was just intoxicated. I don't know, but that was
I don't know.
That was a very weird experience.
It seems like everyone's having experience in bathrooms.
Yeah, Crystal, have you ever had anything like that in public? For real, because that's weird. You never have?
No, I was actually just thinking because when Liliana started talking about hers, I was like, you know, on my 21st birthday, I was at Paradise, which is in Corpus.
Yeah,
and
the pool.
Paradise Billiards. Yeah, I was over there, and this girl comes in, and she's probably early 30s, and she comes in and she's telling me because I was crying. I don't even remember what the hell happened, but I was crying, and she comes in and she tells me, no matter what happens, everything's going to be okay. And I was like, what do you mean? She goes, no matter what happens, everything's going to be okay. You're strong. You're a strong woman. You're going to get through it. And I'm just looking at her like, you don't even know me. Like, I've never seen her before. And whenever I finally come out of the bathroom, my cousin asked me, like, what was taking you so long in the bathroom? And I said, oh, I was talking to this girl. And she goes, what girl? I was like, I don't know. This girl came in and she was talking to me, telling me everything was going to be okay or whatever. She was like comforting me because I was crying. And she was like, what girl? I've been out here the whole time. So I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know if she just went past her and she didn't see her or what, but I did end up having one of my panic attack episodes on the way home that night, and they had to call an ambulance to come get me.
Oh,
Wow.
So it's kind of weird. But
So
I
that's weird because all three of us have had
never
something
thought
similar.
until right now when Liliana started saying hers,
Yeah.
and that was also in the bathroom.
So
Dang,
it's
I'm the
weird
only
that
one
all
that hasn't
three of
had
us-
experience in the bathroom.
Yeah, that
But
is weird that it's all in the bathroom. But then
But
again,
you know
it would
what?
make sense. Where else, if somebody was trying to get your attention, where else could they do it in a public place?
I mean, but if you think about it, women
Work
kind of
is-
tell all in the bathroom.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, it's true. It's true. What were you saying, Liliana? Oh,
mouth
sorry,
full.
chewing.
He's chewing.
I was saying, I feel like that's kind of like your spirit guides coming to you in a way where you can hear them, but where you're in a public setting to where you're not going to get scared, but it's in a private setting as well. Because I mean, they've all been bathrooms.
That's what I was just thinking, and maybe that's what mine was as well. But maybe
because I mean, how many
Maybe
times
I
have you
needed to
walked
see
into a
that.
bar, into the bathroom in the bar, and there's a chick crying on the floor, or she's
Yeah.
throwing up, and I mean, all the business comes out then.
I've never
it's true.
experienced that.
You know that chick's entire story by the end of the time you're done peeing.
Yeah, I know. It's very true. Yeah. And we tend to do that when we're out. That is true. That is
That's
true.
a
Especially
hiding
when you're
place.
upset, you're
That's a
drunk,
hiding
and
place.
he did this and he did that, and you're telling your whole story. You're right.
Is
Wow,
it a
that's
girl-
interesting though. That's
I'll
interesting
tell-
that we all three had something similar. I just saw them and y'all didn't.
Matt's
what,
trying
Matt?
to
What
talk.
were you saying? Or who was that, Matt?
Yeah.
No, I was asking. I was like, I don't know if it's a girl thing. I was asking Paul like if he's ever had witnessed anything in the restroom, but I don't know. As guys, I mean, honestly, I'm not very, I guess, aware. When I got in the restroom,
Observe it, yeah.
I don't
So
wanna
you
look
haven't,
at-
neither have you, Matt? Brett, have you ever witnessed
Well, I
Brett
mean,
said-
we're kind of focused on one area because they're not trying to look at everybody else's junk, and they don't want anybody else looking at their junk.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's completely different. What about you, Donovan, and whoever else we have on here joining us? By the way, welcome. I don't know who's here besides Donovan. But have y'all ever had ladies that are on here watching? Have any of the ladies watching experienced anything somewhat even similar, remotely similar to what we've talked about? Seeing or hearing people that when you're in the ladies' room, especially in a public place, because it's weird because mine were all three at a public restroom, and y'all each had an experience in a public bathroom. I'm not sure who we have on here, but I just want to know if you've experienced anything similar.
And I was thinking, there's so much, like I was saying, in the ladies' bathroom, there's so much emotion goes on in there with all the women. Could be anything. Like,
Yeah, Brett said he was thinking there's so much emotion, like y'all were saying, with all the women, because it's true. You do kind of spill your guts, so to say, in a bar bathroom.
Yeah.
It could just be. He said it could just be residual energy too. You don't know. That's true. You don't really know.
And hormones.
And hormones, yeah. Because most of the time when we're crying in the bathroom, it's during our times of life when we're going through the hardest parts, or we think we're never going to make it. It's always love troubles.
I thought she was gonna
I thought you were gonna say something else.
Yeah, I know. It's always
Yeah, I
love troubles in the love department. Like he did this. It's always that. It's always that. Yeah, maybe so, Brett. Maybe you're right. So, does anybody on here have anything they'd like to share? Don't be afraid.
Oh, we Crystal story.
I
Oh
got
yeah, we want to, Crystal.
Oh.
Excuse me. Crystal, we want to get to the story. Brett, Paul said y'all had something that happened just a few days ago. I want to hear this.
Okay, so everybody knows I stay up till crack of dawn. But
Yeah,
anyway,
I'm not getting scared, but go ahead.
I come to bed, and lo and behold, Paul has both of the fans off in the room, and I can't breathe. So I get up and I go turn on the fan, which lately I've been turning on the stand-up fan, but for some reason this day I decided I'm going to turn on the ceiling fan, and I turn it on, and it's spinning and spinning, and then all of a sudden you hear a little click, and then it goes and starts spinning the other direction.
Huh?
Come on.
I'm sick.
And-
I was
and
awake for it.
I was laying there like, what the hell?
And she thought I was asleep.
And he goes, "Are you seeing that?" I said, thank God you're awake to see it, because he never
was-
believes me. I'm like, thank God. And he was like, oh yeah, I see it. And I'm like, he goes, but did you hear that? I was like, no, I heard it. He was like it clicked. And I was like, yeah, I
Like
heard
somebody,
it.
because they all have a button where you can click it and
Yeah.
make
Yeah.
it go the opposite way.
It was
have
like
to
somebody
activate
flipped the little switch and it started spinning the other direction.
Yeah, because
But it didn't stop. Like
No, it
you
was
would
going
think it would slow
slow.
down and then start going the other way. No, it was going and then started speeding up.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's pretty crazy. What do you think
Yeah,
about that, Brett?
Wild.
And I just looked up and I was like, what the
Here's-
hell is that?
And then he was like, just turn it off. So I get up, I go turn off the fan, and we're laying here watching the ceiling fan just go and go and go and go and go and go. And I'm like, okay, not saying anything. I'm just like looking at it like any day now. It literally spun forever. Like it wouldn't stop. Like it was going real slow, like creeping. But it was
When you
just like,
turn it off,
yeah,
Yeah,
it was
after.
off. And it was a good, probably, I don't know, a good almost 10 minutes that we sat there and watched this fan just go barely around.
wow.
And I'm like, okay. And then all of a sudden it kind of stops and you see the blades go in the other direction. And I'm like, but very slowly, like they're barely moving. And I'm like, you see it going the other way now, right? And he was like, yeah, I see it. Like, okay.
Wow, that's weird. So Donovan said he has nothing, but a lot goes down at bars - clubs, and it does. You're right, Donovan.
Oh, yeah.
And he also said he's going to walk down Car Road to Charco. Right now, are you going to do that, Donovan? You're crazy, you great soul, you. Well, when Brett and I came home the other night, we had it made me think of Paul so bad because there was an owl and it was very loud. It sounded like it was right on us. It scared me so bad. Right, Brett? It was loud. And I told Brett, let's get in the house. It scared me so bad. Where was that from? I don't. Yeah, it was like right here in our car. And we got in the house really quick. I said, I'm not going back out there. When we got in from the show, because it was really late when we did the karaoke show, the one on Saturday, I guess, because it was really late.
No, you didn't do it. You didn't do a show this Saturday.
Yeah, it was loud. Oh yeah, it wasn't this Saturday. Last Saturday. So Donovan, let us know if you walk down there and do some videos for us. That would be so cool. I wonder if you could do that and be on the show. You want to come on the show and show us what you get? Come on the show. Is that why they call it a show?
So I got to
do what?
I got
Go ahead, Matt.
Okay, all right. Now this happened. I was probably around maybe 11, I believe.
Okay.
So it was during the summertime that me and my brother, we would stay up all night, every night playing video games till about 5:30 in the morning. And
right.
My dad always got up for work at 5 o'clock. And we always knew we'd always pay attention to the clock because he did not ever want us to stay up late.
And you always think you're asleep.
And so we'd always pay attention to the time. We knew once the clock hit 5, we knew to turn everything off, go lay in our beds, and pretend we're asleep. It was almost the same motion every night.
Okay.
And we knew we would try to keep up with the days that my dad was off from work to where we knew that, okay, we can stay up till whatever time because we know he's not going to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. It was Tuesdays and Sundays where he was actually off. And this particular night, and here's the crazy thing. It was always the same motion that he would do. Our door would be closed, all TVs off, games off. We're laying down in bed. Door opens, 2 steps into the door, stops, looks at us, walks to the bathroom for some reason, because we had a bathroom in our room too, turns around and walks out. That was the same motion he did every single time. I was like, it was like clock,
on you, I guess.
right? And so this one particular night, my brother ends up going to bed early. Okay, he doesn't stay with me, till 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, whatever, and everything like that. And I could have sworn I could have sworn that my dad was off that day. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I was, thinking like, okay, it's Tuesday. My dad doesn't work today. Of course, he was a department manager at HEB. So like he would, some days they wouldn't expect to work, but he ends up getting called in. Well, it's 4:58, 4:59. I'm playing video games, just me by myself, and everything's good and everything. Well, I hear his door open from his room, which scares the crap out of me. I'm like, oh, I thought he wasn't working today. I thought he would still be asleep and everything. I cut everything off. Boom, boom, boom. Went to the bed, lied down, and did the same thing. Closed my eyes. I heard the door open to my room, and I said, "That's my dad. That's my dad." 2 footsteps in, stops, walks to the bathroom, turns around, walks back out. Right? Okay. Door opens, 2 footsteps in, starts walking, and I've only had 3 occurrences like this in my life where I feel physically touched, like cool or something like that. It's always the same feeling. The 3 times it's happened, always the same feeling. It's the weirdest thing. It's almost like an energy. Like you know that there's a force, like something's pulling you or something pushing you. You know it's that motion, but it's just like the energy of it just feels weird. It felt like a hand that went on the top of my head and down my face. I threw the cover, everything. I was like, whoa, and nobody's in the room. My brother's, I'm trying to wake him up. I'm like, John, you won't believe what just happened. You won't believe what just happened. I'm freaking out and everything. I'm scared to death and everything. So he ends up waking up, but he's kind of like, my brother's a deep sleeper, so I couldn't really explain to him what had happened. I explained it to him, but he didn't realize what was going on. And that was the first occurrence I've ever had like that. I never expected that at all. And it's just like, it was like, boom, like, wow, there's definitely a spiritual side to like, this world. Like, and that's what made me a believer into like the paranormal and stuff like that. It was that event, right?
Yeah.
That realized, wow, there's something going on. I was 11. I was scared to happen. But
so did it actually feel like a hand, or it felt like more like a presence, right? But I don't know.
It's like you can make it. It was almost like fingertips on the top, heaviness on the bottom, and I can only think that it was a hand that was going down my face. Yeah. But it's just
like trying to close your eyes, maybe, so you go to sleep.
Yeah, right. I'm telling you, and I've always heard.
I'm such a chicken.
I've always heard that demons mimic people in ways. If you've ever watched Conjuring, I believe it's The Conjuring, where like they play, it's like a hide and go seek game and everything.
Yeah, I don't watch scary movies because
it's a Conjuring.
Yeah. And so the 3 claps and everything. I remember whenever the demon starts mimicking that, what they're okay. I felt like that's exactly what it was doing, because it did the same motion my dad would do, and it knew that we feared that. It knew that we feared my dad catching us, awake in the middle of the night playing video games. Yeah. So like, it was just odd how it was the same motion, 2 steps, and everything like that. Stops, hand, and then I flip out, lose my shit. Oh, sorry.
Oh my God. So did you tell your brother? What did he say? I bet of course he wasn't there, so.
He didn't believe me. Of course, when I told him half asleep and everything, but I kept telling him about it the next day. He thought I was crazy and everything, but wow. I knew what I was well aware of my surroundings.
Yeah.
And everything. If I was maybe half asleep or anything like that, I could probably push it off as, okay, well, I was half asleep. Maybe I didn't really realize what was going on around me.
Yeah.
Fully aware, fully conscious, because like I said, my adrenaline was going because I was trying to get everything shut off and everything so I could lay back in bed. So like, I knew what happened. I was just crazy.
Oh my God. I bet that scared you so bad.
It's funny. He was talking about the video games, and it kind of reminded me of a story that happened to me like that, where we stayed up because when I'd get off of school, because we had the Nintendo, the regular Nintendo, the NES when it came out. That's how old I am. And so when it came out on Friday when we got off from school, we started playing Nintendo, and we literally stayed up all weekend playing Nintendo. We didn't go to sleep. It was like an all weekend deal. And we did this every weekend. And it was one night that we turned the game off. I got tired. I turned the game off in my room. The TV was off. Game system was off. I laid down. And everybody know the Super Mario Brother. I started hearing that, and I was laying there, and I swear I heard it, and I'm like, what is going on? And you could literally hear it.
Jeez.
The game's off, TV's off, and I can still hear it. It was the weirdest thing ever. It scared me. It actually scared the heck out of me.
Wow.
It's crazy.
You froze up a little bit. That is crazy. Are you
Yeah.
still there, Paul? Oh, you froze up your back.
I'm here.
I mean, that melody can be just so joyful when you're playing the game, but whenever it's like when the TV's off and the game's off and you hear that, that's actually creepy too.
terrifying. So I want to read y'all real quick. Kimmy said, if you ever see a white Nissan Frontier pass by y'all's house, it's Donovan and me, LOL. So Kimmy wanted me to let you know. And Donovan said scary and Kimmy said spooky. I just want to read the comments because I'll lose
I think
track.
that white Nissan was behind me today whenever I was checking my mail. I think.
Oh, maybe so. Maybe so. Wow, that is a scary story. So you know what? When I don't were you with me? When my grandmother passed away, we were at her house, and or was that when my dad passed away? My dad liked to play the keyboard, like the music keyboard. He didn't really know how, but he wanted to learn. And he had a little tiny Yamaha keyboard, it was a working keyboard. You know what I'm talking about, Matt?
Yeah.
It just made all the noises, and you could play like the piano. He was always messing with that thing. I think it was when Grandma passed away. We were over there, and it was sitting on the kitchen table, and I was like, "Oh, what are y'all going to do with this keyboard? Because I'd like to have this. I've always wanted to learn how to play." And they're like, "Well, nobody wants it." And I said, "Can I take it?" And a few seconds later, the dang keyboard started playing by itself. And I'm freaking out. I remember that. You were talking about the noises. And I'm serious. We were all in the kitchen. We all heard it. And I'm like, what in the world? Because I went in the living room, and they're like, oh, it's probably just it's probably just broken. And I'm like, that's weird. So I started asking questions. Grandma, Daddy, is that you? And it would play the same thing. And I was like, and to this day, I never knew if it was a keyboard. You were talking about the game, or if it was really them trying to communicate, but it scared the crap out of me. I did take the keyboard home, but I think I ended up taking the batteries out of it because it scared me so bad.
Well, battery's on, it still plays. I think that'd be even crazier.
Yeah, I know.
We have a story about something like that.
Okay, go ahead.
As a child, that you would push. It was battery operated. You push the stomach, and it would say something, whatever.
Right.
I don't even say. Well, that doll used to freak out my brothers, and I never understood why. I was so attached to the doll, and it freaked out my mom one time too, because you didn't have to push it, and it would just start talking.
Oh,
and
yeah, pretty freaky.
It got to the point that it started talking so much when I was at school to my mom that she took the battery out, because I think I was already home when she did this. She took the batteries out and she threw the doll into the closet because it freaked her out. And when it dropped, it started talking with no battery.
No.
Those dolls are scary.
Yeah, some of those
My
dolls.
sisters used to have a walking doll like that. They kept in the room all the time, and they had that thing for years. It was about probably 3.5 foot tall. And I could swear to God, I could see that doll's head move. Like you go through the room, it'd be facing one way. You come back through, and the doll's looking the other way. I know that doll.
That is so scary. Oh my God!
I bought Samara a kangaroo, the My Life Pets or whatever, last year for Christmas, and I swear, obviously this thing was malfunctioned because it was from the moment I put batteries in it. This thing only spoke, I guess, Australian because it was a kangaroo. But it's supposed to speak Australian, English, and Spanish. The stupid thing only speaks Australian. But the thing would go off all day and all night, all the time.
Whoa.
And we'd be sitting there and it just started going off, speaking Australian to us. I don't know what it was saying.
And the worst part was you don't know what it was saying.
Australian is basically.
Like
I don't know what is Australian.
There's different dialects.
Yeah, there are.
They say
because it was like a different thing, but it was there was Spanish setting on it, and there was English, and then there was another setting, and it wasn't Spanish
Okay.
because I know enough Spanish to know. And then
Yeah.
it wasn't English. There was something else it was speaking, and I'm just like, I don't know what it's speaking, and I was
Probably
trying to
French or
switch
something.
it,
Don't tell
and I
me.
can't switch it. Like,
Wow.
and then there was supposed to be another setting to where I think you could switch it to where you touch one side of it and it's English, the other side is Spanish. Yeah, I could never get it to switch, so I just took the batteries out of it. So
Yeah, I would have
but
too.
this thing, it would go off constantly, and I'm
Oh,
just
no.
like, this stupid thing is just broken, wasted $100.
Yeah. And that's an expensive kangaroo too. That
And you know, on Christmas, yeah, and you know, on Christmas, you just open all the gifts and you throw all the crap away right away.
I know you do. I know all the boxes, all the directions. So Donovan said Chucky. Oh, I did not like Chucky. My kids were scared to death of Chucky. Remember that, Brett? Oh, Benjamin was scared to death of Chucky. I don't know why, but he was terrible. Remember, he woke up in the middle of the night with that. No, that wouldn't be. I'm sorry. He had a
I've always
horrible.
hated the Bride of Chucky doll.
Yeah, I did. Oh, no, they're
Not me.
terrifying to me. They're terrifying to me.
My sister, when she was real young, she had, like,
Sorry,
and
What
I
happened?
literally
Paul fell off the bed.
Sorry. Hey,
What?
he fell off the bed.
Yeah, and then I started laughing. I smushed my cat.
Oh my God. Hold on. Kimmy said my niece and nephew had a toy that would go off all the time. It was annoying. Yeah, I bet. Okay, go ahead. Matt, are you okay? Are you okay, Paul?
I'm
Go
fine.
ahead, Matt. Go ahead, Matt.
no. And that my younger sister, we're talking about Chucky, and my younger sister, whenever she was, she had to been 4. She had real reddish hair and big time freckles, and I would always, for some reason, have nightmares that she would turn into Chucky in my nightmares and chase after.
Oh my gosh.
Terrified of my for a little while.
Wow. I thought it was interesting a while ago. You said your dad was a department manager at HEB.
Yeah.
Because you know that's where Brett and I don't know which HEB is he at.
Well, it used to be before they relocated in Kennedy, the old HEB in Kennedy. That he was there for 27 years.
Wow. I wonder if we know him.
It's possible. It's possible.
It's a small world. It's a small world because we've been here for 13 years already to this HEB.
Because he probably worked maybe in Beeville a few times too. You know,
What was his first name?
Crap.
What is his first name?
Ted
Ted.
Zambrano.
Huh. Very interesting. It's a small world, really. I know HEB
Yeah.
is a company, but I was like, what? HEB?
I probably met
Yeah.
him.
Well, Brett probably met him because Brett's a receiver in Beeville, so he probably knows him for sure. So let
Really?
me
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Anybody else got anything they want to share? A story? Come on, guys.
I would
Anybody
like
else?
say goodnight because I have been running since yesterday and I had work at midnight today and I am drained.
Okay. Have you been doing that other job still?
Yeah.
Is
I
it a
have been.
decent deal or?
How's it going?
It's going. I'm just drained.
Well,
That
because somebody I know was interested in it, and I was wondering, do you think it's a good? Yeah, I don't want to say anything negative, but
depends. It just depends on what their preference would be.
yeah.
I'm management.
Do you like it?
Well, I am exhausted. Honestly, I don't even want to answer that right now because I'm like at the point that I'm so tired. I got angry with someone earlier and I was just like, I'm ready to go.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
Well, that's good.
It was.
Na-na-na-na-na-na, wasn't me. Okay, so you're gonna have to get off then. Well, y'all have a good night, honey. Thank you for coming on with
Thanks
us.
for coming on.
Do what?
Good
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
And then there were 2, actually 4, wherever Crystal went.
Well, yeah, she disappeared for a little bit.
That's okay. So, do you have any other stories? Anybody have any stories they want to share?
I have another for Charco Road,
Oh yes, tell the one for Choco Road because
and I also was looking up
Mark's on
something
here.
too.
Mark's on here right now. He said, "What's up?
What's
Hi,
up, Mark?
Mark. Good to see you."
What's
Okay,
up,
Paul,
brah?
tell a story about Charco Road, Mark. Perfect timing.
So yeah, and Mark can actually testify to this one too.
Okay, hold on. Let me read this first. Hold on, okay. Donovan put, this happened to me turning off Charcoal Road. All of a sudden, my dashboard display lights started flashing and making a clicking sound. The only one time it happened was
It was a while back.
Okay, hold on. He's still typing. Let's hear his story real quick, and then we'll let you tell yours. So your dashboard display lights started flashing and making a clicking sound.
That's happened to me on.
Hold on, he's typing. That's had that happen to you too?
On Charcoal Road, yeah.
On Charcoal Road too?
Yeah, back in the 70s or 80s.
Charcoal Road's weird.
When you drive down there, your lights will go off.
Yep.
Really?
Radio
Hold on,
stations will
he's
change.
typing. Okay, so Kimmy says he's typing. That was a lag. A lag. That was a lag.
Oh, maybe he was already typing the story.
Oh.
He's basically said that happened a while back, so he's done with the story, and her comment was a lag.
Okay, yep, Charcoal Road and car. Wow. That's weird.
Everybody's had weird experience with Charcoal. Everybody
So we need to do some serious investigating down there. So Paul, tell your story real quick.
We had a little part. This is whenever I was in high school, and the Mark and Mike were with me too, because it was Mark, Mike, me, Robert, and Sandra and Heather. It was our normal crew, and we decided to. And I think my mom was having a Tupperware party, and we all decided to go walk down Charcoal Road. And I kept warning everyone, don't pass. It's not Dickerson. It's Arnold.
Arnold.
Don't pass Arnold Road, because that's when all the really weird stuff starts happening. And of course, my brothers.
Which way is Arnold Road?
Me. Arnold Road is the next road from, you have Carr, then you have Arnold.
Okay.
So we walked down there at night, and we were walking down there, and we got to Arnold Road, and I kept telling everyone, don't. Yeah, Mark knows. So basically, when we got down there, it was like I told him, I said, don't cross Arnold Road. That's when the weird stuff starts happening. And of course, and my brothers, Mark and Mike, they're
smart asses.
They're smart asses. Yeah, they're jokesters like me, and we're all jokesters. But anyway, so they cross Arnold Road, and once they took that step, it was like, okay, I'm done. We're going home. So we all turned around and started walking back home down Charcoal Road, and we turn around and we see a spark light up on the road.
Come on.
Serious. And then all of a sudden you see another spark. And then another one.
Whoa.
It was like someone or something was walking down the road following us, but it was leaving sparks every time.
Whoa. Did y'all haul ass?
Just like the Rush back then.
Yeah. Did we? Oh, Mark and I kept telling him, like, don't run. But of course, no one listens to me. I'm a big nobody. And everybody started running. But yeah, I'll swear, man, because you turn around and you see them.
That's crazy.
Like footsteps, honestly?
Yes, honestly, it's like footsteps walking towards us.
God.
Yeah, and Mark, because he put on there before I started telling the story, he goes, here comes the sparks, because he knew the story I was talking about.
Wow. That's weird.
Yeah, they like the rush. That's what he meant. Mark said they just like the rush back then. They like the rush of adrenaline and stuff.
So maybe it's something to do with that's affecting your electronics on your car, a lot of people, because Brett said he's had that happen on that road too. Maybe it's at that spot, huh? Is it that spot or just Charcoal and Car Road?
No, Charcoal, actually, all the weird stuff. You see people walking up and down the road.
And Paul's dad has asked me the whole time we've lived out here, he's asked me over and over if I've seen the little girl yet. And
me and Carolyn will take a drive over there when we get out.
And I haven't seen the little girl.
We should all do that.
But apparently there's a little girl. I don't know what
Mark said he's down.
But there's a little girl that's right there on the corner of Charcoal and Car. And I haven't seen her yet, but apparently Paul's dad sees her a lot. And he's asked me so many times if I've seen her. And I'm like, no, but I have seen a little boy down Car Road. Like over the hill. Like, I guess towards Kimmy's house.
Y'all are on Car Road, right? I'm trying to think. They're on Car Road, right? Okay.
Yeah, we're on
Yeah.
car. So
Okay.
I've seen a little boy with a ball. So my assumption is he was chasing the ball and he probably got ran
No.
over or something.
No.
I don't know. No,
No.
but
I know. Yeah. That's a.
What do you know? You know something.
Yeah. I know the family.
oh well, shit.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I know the family.
So apparently, I am seeing a little boy playing with ball.
He said, Donovan said they've seen an old lady in a dress.
Oh
He
yeah.
put a picture of
In a blue dress.
I
The
don't
blue
know.
dress. I guess.
So I say what we do is me and Brett get in the car. You're on Hilltop Road. Yeah, I stay away from that story. Mark,
He's talking about the little
stay away
boy.
from the little boy. Oh, it's that really?
Yeah, we stay away from that one.
Okay,
That
so
must be
I have seen the little boy.
It must be
Um, I have
geez.
also seen on the access road when you exit Charcoal Road to come, off the highway. I have seen a mom, a dad, and I don't know if the kid is a boy or a girl, but I've seen them one time, and it was pouring down rain, and they were walking on the side of the road. Well, I went down to the overpass, and I turned around, and I came back around because I felt bad because this
Yeah.
kid is walking in. I mean, it's pouring bad, like barely see in front of you. And I loop back around, and there's nobody to be seen anywhere.
Is that one, or is that the one in Laredo that we're coming back home from Laredo?
And that was
Wow.
Oh yeah.
I've seen quite a few people on the
Hi,
side of
Jean.
the road.
Welcome, Gene. We are telling scary stories. I'm trying to see where Wayne is. Who is Wayne? He says, "What's up, Wayne?" You've seen an old lady in a dress. Hold on, guys. I'm just recapping to make sure we're not missing anybody. Did I miss any comments yet?
No.
No, just like I can't see
I
that.
was. It's funny because Mark just says right now go to Normanna Bridge, and I actually brought up a story about Normanna Bridge. I have a picture that I was going to show to everybody because
Really?
that's another place that I want to go to. Yeah, I don't know if you can actually see it or not, but
Put it on the big screen.
can you see that?
Put it on the big
Barely.
No, it's not going to make a difference on theirs.
Um,
A little
there you
bit.
go.
Oh, that was pretty scary. Yeah.
Okay, that's Normanna Bridge that Mark was talking about. Now that one, they decided to go for a walk on Normanna Bridge. There's some really, really creepy stuff that happens there.
I don't think I couldn't do that. I couldn't.
Well,
do it. I
you
couldn't-
can go,
You could go.
You can
It's
go.
fine.
and you can
Yeah,
just stay
yeah,
in the
it's fine.
car, and then you can stay in the car while we do the show there.
Have we taken you to the cemetery down here or
No.
no? Not yet, right?
No. Mm-mm. We took a picture of the bridge the other day. You did. If you go to the bridge, you have to walk from one end to the other and back. No, Mark.
Yeah. Well, there's a story.
No, Mark.
Yeah, there's a story.
I never said I was brave.
Yeah, well, there's a story that Mark was telling me. I think it was Mark and Robert and Mike. I think they were telling me the story where you draw a circle and you put like a marble or a coin or something in the center of the circle at the beginning of the bridge. You walk to the end of the bridge, and when you come back, the coin will be moved out of the circle.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll try that.
I don't know if you're even brave enough to do that. I don't know. That
No.
sounds pretty scary.
Now, there's
Coins. Mark said
coins.
coins.
Now, there's so many stories about Charcoal Road that when I was in high school growing up, the story of Charcoal Road was you go past Arnold Road by yourself in a car. You get out, you turn your headlights off, shut your car off. You get out and you run around the car, and dogs will come chasing you. Well,
Really?
so, me and my, daredevil
you know,
ass,
I
I
heard
decide
about-
I'm going to go down Charcoal Road and I'm going to go do it. And I'm on the phone and I get out and I get halfway around the car and I hear these dogs like, I don't like wolves almost, I guess, because they're growling, they're angry, and then they're barking, but it doesn't sound like a dog and it doesn't sound like a coyote, but they're coming, and all you see are these black silhouettes coming at you. I get back in the car, shut the door, and there's nothing there.
Wow.
Yeah, it's funny because that kind of takes me back to a story that we were told that if like you drive down Charco Road and if you see a black dog, you don't hit the dog because if you do, everybody in the car dies. Well, that same trip that we went down on the bridge and the car was doing the whole thing. What all fun and games until something. Yeah, that's true.
And
and
Jen did tell us about the train tracks in San Antonio. It sounds
But
terrifying.
you know, I saw a story the other day.
Hold on, Paul. Sorry.
They
Everybody.
took those train tracks out because that train doesn't run anymore, so they're taking the tracks out of there.
Really? Wow, that's interesting.
I was watching a show on that, not to be the debunker, but I I am the believing debunker.
Well, that's good.
No,
That's okay.
actually, there was a show a while back on there that basically went on there and showed how that was done. And it's an illusion to where the car goes. It's not really going uphill. It's going downhill. But it's an illusion that makes you think it's going uphill, and it crosses over the railroad tracks. And the fingerprints that were left on the car, because people take like talcum powder or baby powder and they'll put it on the car, and then they'll go over the bridge and they come back and they have fingerprints all over the car. Y'all heard of that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they basically said that you close your hood, whenever you go back in your trunk and you open, you close, you open, you close, you open, you close. You touch it all the time. You leave oils on your car. So whenever you put that powder on there and you drive across, the wind kind of blows it off, but it leaves the fingerprints from you on the car from a previous touch. So that's just, it's like I said,
it's possible.
Yeah.
Jen said magnetic force from the tracks. Wow.
Yeah. So
I've always wanted to do that. I don't know, but I've heard that from a lot of people. Okay, what does Mark say?
There was a school bus that was hit on those train tracks. That's where the whole thing came from.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, Mark said we all sat on a tailgate, and sure felt like something was touching my legs.
Yeah.
Where was that? On the tracks, Mark?
Yeah, it was on the track. Because he went to the tracks.
Wow. That's weird. That's so weird. I mean, when so many people say it, though, there's got to be something to it, you know?
Yeah.
Old myths and old wives' tales, there's always a grain of truth in them somewhere. That's how they came to be. Brett, what were you going to say? I'm sorry. No?
No.
So do you have any more stories, Mark, Paul, Crystal? Anybody got any more?
Oh, I'm sure Mark has tons of stories.
Mark has a bunch.
So I'm freaking out about the sparks on Car Road. A school bus
that's-
full of
that's
kids
kinda
was hit
freaky.
on those tracks. Yeah, that's what I've always heard.
How would that sparks? How would you debunk that one?
You
Yeah,
can't.
I know.
I've tried. I've thought. Now a spark happening, you could probably say something like it was just an electrical discharge. But when you have a spark appearing on the road in unison to where it's like someone's stepping, yeah, that's it. No, if it happens like over there and then over here and then over there, it's like just.
Even though it's still really weird. Now, it depends on maybe what time of the year it is, maybe, possibly.
Yeah, but
if it's in the middle of summer, I'm just saying, hypothetically, it gets so hot around here in summertime, the road gets really hot at night. Maybe it's cooling off and it would emit sparks, which I've never seen that in my life.
I've never heard of that before in my life.
Me either. I'm just thinking.
Especially on the road where it's walking to you. That's
ball lightning. We were watching the Ozzy's kid. He does that paranormal show, Moonlight Reflection on Paint
And Ozzy
Glass.
Osbourne always says ball lightning.
He always says
ball
everything's
lightning.
ball lightning.
yeah.
Ball lightning, and Jack's like, oh God, whatever. It's not ball lightning. Everything's ball lightning. Moonlight reflection on paint glass. Now, I don't know. That is weird. That would freak me out. I really want to drive down Car Road, but I want to pick everybody up and we all do it together and go explore.
Well, one of the things, it was so funny because
all live in that area.
Well, apparently I started a thing because in high school, whenever we went down to the bridge, this was back in '92, I want to say.
The bridge, somebody lives under the bridge, right?
Yeah,
That's the story.
it was that's the old bridge. There's another bridge next to it. So back in '92, whenever I first went down to the bridge to do this wonderful stuff that we did, I got everyone in school involved, and we all drove down to the bridge, and then it was like everyone met up there. We had this guy who put paint on him or put ketchup on him, and he lay in the middle of the road like he was dead. And we just, I mean, whenever you get high school kids involved in all this stuff, they just do stupid stuff.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's so funny is that when I met Crystal, I was talking about Chocolate Road and stuff. She started telling me stories. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is sort of the stuff that I did. I was like, did we start a thing? So all the kids now.
It's been back from the 70s.
I just wonder what the kids' stories are nowadays about Chocolate Road.
I know.
We used to go down and party out on that bridge, and then
The old bridge.
You just start hearing all kinds of crazy shit. We all get scared and get the fuck out of there. Just walk out of there. Because you can never stay down there for any length of period of time because this shit would just start going crazy down there.
Well, I know I went under the bridge one time in high school and with some other friends, and we went down there, and there was like a fire, like someone lit a fire, it's like an ash trail.
Yeah.
And there were bones in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of kicked it over, and it was bones and stuff. And then there was something written in spray paint on the side. It says dead man. Was it 500 meters, had an arrow pointing to the right. Yeah, it was. There's weird stuff that happens.
Oh.
And and now I went down there the other day. Not the other day. About I don't know. I was probably before I met you. I don't know if you went down there or not.
I haven't been to the bridge.
So it's probably about 10 plus years ago.
The other day, he says.
Yeah, the other day.
It feels as we get older, and the other day feels like 10 years ago.
So walking down, I actually went down there again in my adult years, and there's a bunch of trash there now. It's like someone just threw trash over the side of the bridge. It's horrible.
Wow.
I don't know if they've cleaned it up since, but yeah, I mean,
I
people use it as a dump.
I do know that Jocelyn used to live on the other side of Arnold Road for a little while.
No, that's not Arnold Road. Yeah,
it was
past the bridge.
Yeah.
Did she ever say of any strange encounters or weird experiences that she had?
Yeah.
I wouldn't drive out there at night. I would never take her home at night.
Really? So Gene said that they have ghost towns and everything in Texas. Been to one. It's really eerie. Yeah. When we were kids, we went to some place, and I don't remember where it was. I was little, but I remember going through it, and they called it a ghost town. And it literally, there was like no people there. It was weird, weird, weird. I have no idea where it was, but I remember we were all freaked out as kids. My daddy was always trying to scare us. So no wonder why I am so interested in this stuff. Because he didn't believe in any of it. He did to a certain extent, but yet he said he didn't. You know what I mean? He was always the one, oh, it's nothing. Oh, it's nothing. Yeah, they do have some really weird stuff in Texas. And I know everywhere, not just Texas. But it seems like we have a lot more in Texas.
Menger Hotel in San Antonio.
Yeah, we went to go check that out, the Menger Hotel. It's supposed to be. But we never did go over there, did we? They even do ghost tours. And who was that said they went and they saw all kinds of stuff over there? They actually did, remember?
Maybe y'all need to get a room together and just sit in there in the dark and just see what happens.
No way. I'm not that brave, Paul. You and Brett can do it.
And then you'll start feeling dripping on your head.
Yeah. So Kimmy said she has some friends that live on Arnold Road.
Yeah.
Oh, you should call them and ask them, Kimmy. Message them or call them and say, hey, do y'all ever have weird things happen on that road? Maybe it's not Arnold Road. Maybe it's that intersection. Maybe there was a horrible accident. Yeah, maybe they could come on and tell it. Maybe there was a horrible accident or something.
There have been multiple accidents down Chocolate Road.
Oh, yeah. Cars flip.
Maybe that's why there's so much activity, huh?
We had a lady show up at our house completely naked, or somebody dropped her off.
Really?
Yeah, and then we've had where there was a car accident that flipped over, and there was a story about the lady who got her head cut off back in the mid-1990s. And now at night, she walks around looking for her head. Yeah, there's that story, too.
I wouldn't want to see her either.
Yeah.
So a lady showed up at your house naked, for real?
Yeah.
This is when they were in high school.
Yeah. And then I wouldn't let her in the house.
Oh, it's probably one of those things that guys got her naked out there and said, give it up or get out.
Yeah, probably. But she was all beaten, battered, and everything, too.
Oh,
I remember. There's
so
been.
What happened? You didn't help her?
I don't know. My mom and dad.
Paul's mom went out and
called
the cops and gave her clothes, and I think they were Mike's shorts, and he's still pissed off about it.
He lost his good shorts. There's been accidents down the road where a car flipped and one of the people actually climbed out of the car and came to the house to tell mom and dad about it, so they had to call the cops.
Wow. So
Really
Donovan
weird.
said he'll go down there in the day, but he don't want to bring any bad spirits home. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, for real. If y'all have had that many, probably not such a good idea. It's almost like antagonizing them, you know, like, ha, 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 ha. No, I don't want to bring anybody home. I got enough issues in my house here.
Come and get me. Come and get me.
Yeah, exactly.
We went down to the cemetery down there, and the first time we went over there after I got with Paul, that was the first time I had ever been there, and that's when I got the picture of the ghost face. I'm gonna have to find it and pull it up and show y'all one of these days, or send it to you so you can pop it up there.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Every single camera, phone, everything died. And then Lori's car alarm started going off and they couldn't shut it off. And then the second time we went out there, we took Jessica and Josh, and me and Paul were in the car ahead of them, and we saw this huge thing, black, up in the top of the tree right before the cemetery. And that freaked us out.
Like a huge black thing, like a bird or what?
Like, I don't know what it was, honestly. It was huge, though. I mean, huge. Like, There's no way the tree branches should have been able to hold it.
And it was something walking in the back.
Oh, yeah. That was the first time.
Yeah, there was something walking in the woods in the back. It was like
it was pacing in the woods.
Waiting.
And that's what I was walking to when I got the picture of the ghost.
I kept telling her, don't go over there by yourself.
He's like, babe, get back over here. And I'm like, I'm not scared, whatever. And then I turn back around and look at the camera and I see the face and I'm like, babe. He's like, I told you not to go over there.
Well, Gene said you could wear where did it go? You could wear a sage necklace and hang some in your vehicle. Hey, I'm thinking about doing that. And then Kimmy said they used to mow the grass at the Normanna Cemetery. I don't think I could even do that, y'all. I'm such a chicken. And then I saw one more, La Chusa. And Gene said, did you see the eyes on whatever it was in the tree?
No. It was just black.
Oh,
and then Mark
says
negative.
Mark says, get out and whistle 3 times while you're on here, Paul. No, because we have an owl right by our house for sure, and I won't even do that. That's
we have a couple out here.
We have screech owls.
We have
nope.
Oh, no.
Now let me tell you. So last night, me and Callie are out on the porch until like 2:45, talking away, and all of a sudden you hear, like, we thought it was coyotes at first. I think it was coyotes at first. And then you hear this, like, I was like, what the hell is that? And Callie's all, on that note, I'm going. I was like, we don't know what it was, but it was freaky. Like, it sounded like, I don't know, like a coyote mixed with a bird, or I don't know. It was weird.
Wow.
Almost like a mogwai.
Wow. So Mark said, is that a big negative, Ghost Rider? And Gene said, owls don't bother me. Sometimes black cat does. Yeah. Yeah.
See, and the black cat doesn't scare me at all.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I've never been scared of a black cat.
But the owls don't really freak me out either, but we all know Paul.
Well, I never really liked the sound, but they never really scared me until Paul told us what had happened to him. But they scare me. I don't know. It just because I don't know where they are, and I keep thinking they're gonna fly and get me. And
now I will say that sucker is after Paul. I will second that, because we were all outside in Capehart, and we're talking to our neighbors. There's 4 of us out there, and they go.
I go in the house.
Paul goes in the house, and then her husband next door goes in the house. And as soon as Paul walks in the house, this owl comes off of the telephone pole, swoops underneath the carport, right by our front doors, and goes around and goes back to the light post.
Wow.
And I'm like, that sucker is after you. Like, for real,
Yeah, it
for real,
sounds
after
like it.
you.
So Donovan says, "Have y'all heard a coyote that sounds like a duck?"
No.
That's pretty funny.
I
Well,
would
I
say
will
that's a duck.
say,
I
I
would
will
say
say, y'all are out there in the country, and I keep talking about Bigfoot to you guys because what Penny and David used to tell me is that Bigfoot can mimic a lot of sounds. They can sound like other animals. Do y'all have a lot of mirrors in your houses? Gene wants to know if y'all have a lot of mirrors in your houses.
Yes, we
Crystal.
do.
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Paul hates mirrors. That's another thing he doesn't do, but I love mirrors, so.
Yeah. Well, this is Jean. That's Jennifer's mom. Jennifer's not feeling well tonight, Jean, so she's not joining us. We miss her.
Yeah, when I see a mirror at night, I try to divert my eyes.
Yeah, well, because they say it could be a portal for the spirits, and I've always
I
heard
don't
that too.
do it.
I have 4 mirrors in my bathroom.
Yeah.
Big mirrors.
Yeah,
And then we have 2 mirrors in the kids' bathroom.
yeah,
So we have a lot of mirrors.
you do. Hopefully, it's not inviting spirits in. Well, Jennifer said she didn't really. She said they don't like mirrors. Oh, so I got it wrong. Oh,
Yeah.
well, Jennifer said she really didn't feel anything when she was over there, which is really good.
Yeah, see,
Right?
I
She
would.
didn't feel anything negative.
No, she didn't feel anything negative on Paul.
Yeah.
I don't know about the house all the way, but
No, she said when she got here, she just felt a heaviness to the area. But
Oh, yeah, that's right. Heaviness.
That
yeah.
could be that could just be the area, though. I mean,
yeah, I was raised that the mirrors, you put the mirror right in front of your front door so that when the spirit tries to come in and they see their reflection, it scares them off.
So they don't like them. Okay. See,
Right.
I've been wrong all this time. I didn't know.
Yeah, but
I
I
thought
just don't like mirrors, period, because I don't like looking into them because you never know what's going to be looking back. So
Yeah, there are other beliefs too that mirrors are the portal to the other side, stuff like that.
Yeah, I've heard that too. So Kimmy said Donovan has a mirror outside, but it's facing down. LOL. Facing down. I don't know what good that would do, Donovan.
it's keeping the spirits in hell.
Do what?
It's keeping the spirits in hell.
Maybe so. So Jean says, yeah, spirits don't like mirrors. Wow. I don't know. I told y'all about that mirror in my grandson's room, and I need to ask Chelsea what she did with that mirror. I'm kind of curious. It just vanished. He was always looking at it and talking to somebody that he said his best friend Spencer, which is his name. So I don't know. Kind of weird that it was a mirror.
Well, I know they can trap. There's certain things. I forget what you can do, but you can trap a spirit in a mirror. But I don't mess with mirrors.
No, I look at them as little as I can.
Yeah. I'm the same way. Every time I look in the mirror, I'm like, who the hell is that fat guy?
Yeah, what happened? It's hard enough to see myself on camera. It's even harder, really harder. I'm like, oh God, it's like looking in the mirror the whole time.
That's when you keep a picture of your like best days of your life. Keep a picture right there by your bed, so when you wake up, you're like, that's what I look like. I'm great.
There you go. That's a good idea.
Like,
I have like one picture like that, if I don't even know where it is, where I'm like, dang, I look pretty good in that picture. Back in the day. So Jean said they see the reflection they leave.
First thing you wake up to, and you're like, okay, and then just don't look in the mirror, and you're good.
Yeah, just don't ever brush your hair or your teeth or anything ever again.
I didn't say don't do those things. I just said look in the mirror.
Yeah, I always have to look to make sure my hair's not poking up.
Yeah, but I hear there's a lot of crazy stuff that happens, and there's a lot of other people can actually that can have stories about like I don't know. I mean, you have UFO sightings, you have weird lights in the sky, you have weird sounds in the woods.
Oh,
you have
what about our honeymoon trip to New Mexico?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
What happened?
We were in Marfa.
Yeah, so
New Mexico's notorious for UFOs. So what'd y'all see?
Well, no, we went to Marfa because I've always wanted to go see the Marfa lights.
Marfa, yeah.
I've always wanted to go see the Marfa lights, and that was one of my.
I don't know if he already went for a game. Yeah, go ahead.
But that's one of my bucket list things that I wanted to do, and so we went, and of course you get over there, and the first thing you see is not everyone sees the lights at all times. They just pop in, pop out. They're you might show up one day and they're not there, and I'm like, oh, this will be the day when they're not there.
Because
Oh,
there was nothing.
Yeah, and it was nothing for a long time. Then all of a sudden you'll start seeing them, like you'll see the lights, and the lights would just pop out of nowhere, and then they would kind of raise and then move, and it was strange. And the thing is that no one knows what those lights are.
yeah. Ben said we should have that on our show. He said, now that would be something good to have on your show. The lights of the Marfa lights. Nobody knows why they're there.
Yeah, they've had explanation of swamp gas. They've had explanation of reflection of cars that come over the hill. They have, but we looked at the highway, and none of those lights were from cars. I know that for a fact.
We watched that highway because there is a highway back there where the watching area is.
Yeah,
there is a highway behind that, but you literally would follow the car, and you would, after a while, every little up and down that is to that road, and these lights were not on that road. No. But that's not the story I was talking about.
I know what story you're talking about. It was in the hotel room.
Yes.
Oh, in the hotel.
Yes. So I also have a picture of this, and I will show it.
Thank you. Oh, you have a picture?
I have a picture of it. It's on my Facebook. We woke up in the morning after staying in the hotel in Marfa, and Paul had I guess almost like what a hickey would look like, I guess, but in if a spring was on his back all night and brought the blood to the surface. So it was diagonally down, like a spring touching you would be.
Okay.
Down his back. He was just laying in the bed. And I want to say there was a scratch down the middle of his back as well. Not a scratch, but the blood to the surface kind of thing. Not broke through the skin. It was really crazy.
Wow.
And we still, to this day, don't know what the hell that was.
So it wasn't there, and then when he woke up, he saw it the next day?
No, I didn't see it.
I saw it.
She's like,
you saw
what
it, yeah.
the heck is on your back? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And she took a picture of it, showed me. I'm like, I have no idea what that is.
It didn't hurt him or anything. He didn't feel it at all. So it was really, really strange.
Was this an old hotel y'all stayed in, or what?
It was I don't know how old it was, but it did look kind of old.
Yeah, it was one of those side road hotels.
Motel.
A motel. Yeah, in Marfa.
Wow. That's weird. Wonder what that was.
I don't know. But yeah, that's whenever we decided we took our trip down to we were going to go to Oregon, but instead we went to Roswell, and we stayed in Roswell for 3 nights.
I wonder whose idea that was.
I know. And that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I bet it was. I know Penny and David went to Roswell, and they took pictures and stuff. I don't know about Roswell. They went to Tombstone, Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they had pictures of that. And she didn't notice. This is weird you said that, because she was showing me some of the pictures. I wish I had them. Man. She was showing me some of the pictures they took of the... Brett, that was Tombstone, right? Yeah. And she was showing me some of the pictures, and I said, what's that? And I looked at one of the pictures, and above them, there was something in the sky. And it wasn't an airplane. And she didn't even see it at the time. And I said, oh, my God. Remember that, Brett? Yeah, Brett noticed it. Yeah. There was something in one of her pictures. And so we started looking, and it wasn't in the first one. It wasn't in the third one. You know what I mean? Because they took them right after the other. And there was a UFO in one of her pictures, and she hadn't even noticed it. Yeah. It's pretty weird. I wish I still had those. Man, they were always finding weird stuff, Penny and David. I miss her so much. She was our explorer of the family. She was the brave one.
Yeah. Well,
I'm definitely not.
I like traveling and doing the history stuff, and I've always wanted to stay in a claimed to be haunted hotel. I've never stayed in one of those before.
You need to go to Schulenburg and stay at that one. What's the name of it? Now that place is freaky. I couldn't even go up the stairs. It was so scary. What's the name of it? Not Minger. That's here. No. It's downtown Schulenburg. And it's supposed to be haunted. It's all over the internet and everything, and it is spooky. It has an old theater downstairs, and they have the lobby like it was back in time. It looks like you're in back in the, I don't know, the 30s or 40s, I guess,
Yeah.
because they kept the lobby the way it was back then, and it's freaky. And we were going to go exploring, and Penny and Marilyn went up the stairs a little bit, but they didn't stay very long. They came right back down. I wouldn't even go up the stairs. I had such an uneasy feeling. And it's supposed to be haunted by a lady. She's got a dress on, and she supposedly jumped off the balcony because her love left her or something, right, Brett? She committed suicide, and it's kind of like the Dog and Bee, where they're saying, oh, yeah, it's definitely haunted. They've had everybody experience all kinds of weird things there, So that's where you should go stay. But it was cool. Love to see that place. Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool. The only thing is that the theater, because we did go see a movie there. We went and saw that show, Old Dogs or whatever, that comedy with
with
John
Tim.
Travolta and all them. Yeah, it was a great movie.
Yeah.
But man, that place is spooky. It's like literally an old theater. It even has the like the box, like a theater box. What would you call that, Brett?
Balcony.
Like a balcony thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that place gave me the creeps. It was really hard to sit through that movie. It was very freaky in there. Wasn't it, Brett? Even Brett said, yeah, it was real old. Whew, gave me the creeps.
I like stuff like that.
Yeah, you would love that place. And then you go upstairs, right? Yeah, you go out of the theater and you go upstairs, and that's the hotel. It's all in the same area. Yeah, you should go there. I'm telling you, it's freaky, and it's only a couple hours away. We need to all go there. I wonder if they used to show movies every week still. Excuse me, still at that theater, and it is old. Talk about getting the heebie-jeebies. I couldn't really sit there when they turned the lights off. I was so scared.
That's why we need to make a list of all the stuff that everyone's done and have people just go out and just.
I know. We really should.
Because I would do it. I would go out and do it. I mean,
yeah, we did go to the movie there, but I wouldn't. And Penny and Marilyn went up the stairs. Yeah, we need to go to that cemetery out there. Well, I want us all to go for real on a field trip and go out to. I want all of us to go to Schulenburg and go explore that hotel, that movie theater, and then go out to where Penny and David used to live, so y'all can see where we're talking about. That all this weird stuff happened. Who knows what we would see, right, Brett? It's true. If we could do it without getting in trouble, I would do it. I would do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, just don't call it ghost hunting. Just call it exploring.
Exploring, yeah. And that church out there that's next to where Penny and David used to live is on the Painted Church tour. So they have tour buses that go out there to see the church. So I thought that was pretty weird. It's been there forever. It's an historical site. But that's something I really want to do. I really want to go back there. I said, last time I was there was for Penny's service. Of course, like I said, they've changed the house into I don't know, where they have people over from the church, like for services and stuff. Fellowship hall, yeah. So the house is converted into that, but it's still there, and nobody's there during the night, so we could easily go over there and check it out. I want to go really bad, really, really bad, but I'm kind of scared at the same time, I want to go and see if there's still activity out there like there used to be.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
Yeah, I want to make a trip. I want to plan that.
A lot of stuff doesn't die down. I mean, it's out there for a reason.
I mean, because I'm just wondering, because nobody's in that house now, nobody lives in it. If there would still be activity, I guess so. If they were there before, they'd probably be there still. It was, what I said before. If it's not just the Bigfoot. It was the Bigfoot, the UFOs. I mean, everything is going. So many things out there at that place. Just is like a portal for all that stuff. Honestly,
there's a paranormal hot spot.
Yeah, really.
Another place like that too that actually has a lot of stuff happening on it, and it's Skinwalker Ranch.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that. I've heard of it.
A lot of stuff happens at that ranch.
Where's it at? Nevada?
I cannot remember right off the top of my head where it's at.
I've heard of it. Yeah, and Brett just reminded me they have an old dance hall out there. We went to that. You get the same feeling out there, definitely. And it's still, you can still go there, and they still have dances there occasionally, but it is really old. Did Jen tell y'all about the Moore Family Cemetery? No, I don't think so. Did Jennifer tell us about I don't remember hearing anything about that. No, I don't think she did, Gene. So y'all have a family cemetery? See, I have a family cemetery, kind of sort of on my grandma's side. It's very spooky. It's in Waco. That'd be a cool place to go to. Also, I've never been out there at night. I don't have any. any desire to be out there at night. What was that? The cat just jumped across the room.
Ashley walked in the door. Crystal scared her. She fell on the ground. Cat got scared and ran and jumped on my stomach and scratched me.
God.
The typical life in my house.
Oh my!
My favorite thing to do is scare people.
I see that. Now, I don't think Jennifer didn't tell us about the cemetery. Yeah, it's not far from here. Wow. And it's really even stranger when you know that it's people that are in your family that are buried there. Like the cemetery in Waco, that was my family's cemetery. My grandmother's buried there. The aunt that passed, or my mom's aunt, stepsister, my grandpa's buried there. You know, a lot of the family members are buried there. Very weird. It's really weird. It's not far from here. Wow.
So Ashley just told me a story.
Okay.
She said that she was at work, and the phone, it's the old phones,
Yeah.
and it sits on the thing, and she's just sitting there, and the phone literally just jumps in the air and goes back down.
Really?
This part.
Like, yeah, the phone.
The
Well,
handset.
I told someone that and they thought the whole phone jumped. I'm like, no, just the part that comes off.
You know, and it's because
Wow.
prisons have that thing where you actually will experience a lot of paranormal activity. There's a prison in there's two of them actually in Gatesville. There's the Gatesville facility, which used to be a juvenile facility, and you'll see kids walking around there, and it's crazy.
Wow. Well, yeah, it's kind of like a hospital in a way. They kind of have that residual, I think. So Jean
Yeah,
says she was 8 or 9 the last time she was there. Wow.
Yeah, the pod that she was in, that's the pod that nobody ever wanted to work because of things that would happen in there. You would hear doors open and close and all kinds of stuff.
Wow. I wouldn't want to do it. I know that. I
My
would never
McDonald's
work in
only
a
been here
hospital.
since '92.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I've never liked being in a hospital at night. You know, even because Brett, when he was in the hospital for all that time with his appendix, right? Yeah. Here in Beeville, we went and explored the hospital. We went down to the basement. Let me tell you, and there was like nobody there.
Oh yeah, the basement's creepy.
It was creepy. Yeah. And I was like, I don't feel comfortable down here. There's a morgue down there. Yeah.
Yes.
In Beeville, we didn't know. It was, oh man, I was like,
The
we
morgue
should
and
be
the
there.
pharmacy.
Yeah. The pharmacy. Yeah.
Mhm.
It was just weird. You just get an easy feeling down there. I guess that would be true if you went down to any morgue. You know, he's eating all the.
That's
Maybe some-
crazy. That's crazy that you say that because whenever when Jason was born and he was having all his medical issues, they told me to go for a walk, and that's where I went. I went to the basement.
Oh, jeez. By yourself? Oh no, 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 no. I would do it during the day, but at night, no. We did it at night like dummies, didn't we, Brave? It was at nighttime, late at night, because he couldn't sleep and he's trying to. I forgot he was bored, so we went to walk. They wanted you to walk, I believe.
Yeah.
So we got tired of walking up down the hall, so we started exploring. And Brett's good with directions. I wouldn't do that by myself because I'd get lost. I'd never find my way back out of the hospital. I'd be like, oh my God, I'm trapped. I don't know where I am.
What happened to Carolyn? Oh, she got lost in a
Yeah.
turtle.
Because I told Brett they need to come
the
up.
employee
They look like GPS.
break room can't find her way out.
Yeah, for real. They need
She
to have
went to the bathroom and
GPS.
ran to a lady, and the old lady pulled her into her world.
Yeah. I always, when we were doing that, I remember I told Brett somebody needs to invent GPS for big buildings. So that way when you're at a
Oh
building.
yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, remember? And it really would be good because you get lost easily in those. All these different halls that look exactly the same. Oh, they really need to make something like that. We still haven't invented that. We need to work on that. To where you'd have
Yeah.
to
I don't know. That was like 6 years ago, and we
With-
still haven't.
With 100 other things that we need to work on.
Yeah, Paul, we need that app. I really need it bad because I get lost easily.
Well, I'll get right on it.
Yeah, we would have to have the blueprints of the building to do it, I guess, though, right?
Yeah.
The blueprints. I don't even know how you would go about doing it. Be weird. It would be weird. So, does anybody have any more stories they'd like to share? Jean, do you have anything you'd like to share? Because it's about 10 till 10. I get to go to the doctor tomorrow, back to Victoria. Not early.
Hey, I get to go to Corpus to the doctor tomorrow.
Oh, boy. We are going to have such an exciting day. Well, too bad we're not going to the same city. We can meet up and have lunch or something.
Yeah.
I get to make about 16 dozen cookies this weekend.
Oh boy, that's a lot of cookies.
And I'm building my audio booth this weekend.
Man, y'all are gonna be busy.
We have something else going on too, I think.
Yeah, you building my bakery.
Oh,
Oh, and building a bakery. Get on it, Paul. Hurry up. Chop chop. How's the bakery coming along? You need a lot more.
Let me do that with my
We haven't
broke
touched
back.
we haven't touched the bakery in about 6 months.
Oh, geez. Well, with all the medical stuff, yeah, you kind of put that on the back burner. I understand. Well, does anybody else have any? Jean says she doesn't have any more stories. Do y'all have any more stories you want to share tonight, or should we go ahead and shut it down?
Let's go ahead and shut it down.
I think so too. Well, guys, I really appreciate everyone coming on here and joining us, and your commentary and your stories and your insights. It means a lot to us. As far as I know, we'll be back next week. If anything changes, I'll post it and let you know. But as far as I know, we'll be back next week. In the meantime, if you have any stories or if you know of anybody that has any, write them down, jot them down, record them on your phone or something so you can share them with us next week, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. And Jean, thank you so much for joining us. I'm sorry Jennifer's not here. We miss her, but I know she'll be back. I told her if she needs anything to call me, whether she will or not, I don't know. But you know how that goes. You always say, if you need anything, I'm here. You're not getting people. You need to change the day. You are competing against two big. There's two big podcasts tonight. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that on Tuesday nights, huh? We're just doing it out of necessity. I wonder if we should go back to Wednesday. We went to Tuesday because Wednesdays we were doing the other thing, but we're not doing the other thing now. You think Wednesday might be better, Gene?
Maybe so.
Maybe we should go back to Wednesdays. Okay, well, we'll discuss it, guys. Let me know what y'all think. Kimmy, good night, sweetheart. We may be changing to Wednesday. I'll change the thing if so. Then I got to change up on my flyers. Y'all have a great night. Don't let the booger bears bite. Somebody used to say that. Don't let the bed bugs bite or the booger bears bite or anything like that. And y'all have a good night. Thanks for coming on and sharing your stories with us. Take care of yourselves, and we'll talk to everybody soon, okay?
All righty.
Okay, good night. Brett said good night. It is repurposable. I'd say Thursday. Maybe Thursday. We'll talk about it. See if we can come up with a better day. All right. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
All right.